Good morning, everyone, respected teachers and my dear friends. The paper I have chosen for today is a long-term efficacy of a hepatitis E vaccine, which was published last month in NEJM. Let's see the magnitude of the problem. In areas where HEV genotype 1 is endemic, it leads to around 3.3 million symptomatic cases per year, causing around 70,000 deaths, 3,000 stillbirths per year. And the case fatality rate is 1 to 3%, which increases drastically in pregnant women. Coming to the aim of the study, they wanted to determine the long-term efficacy of a hepatitis E vaccine. Coming to the materials and methods, it was a prospective double-blind randomized control trial from 2007 to 2012, involved total of 55 months. And the initial part of the study was published in Lancet in 2010 that included the first initial 19 months of analysis. And after this data, the vaccine went into the market in 2011 in China. Now, the extended follow-up study of this paper is being published last month in NEJM. The inclusion criteria were healthy adults from 16 to 65 years of age, and they had 56,302 participants in each arm. And the cases received hepatitis E vaccine, while the controls received hepatitis B vaccine at 0, 1, and 6 months. Coming to this chart, this shows the gist of the study. This study is conducted in two parts, the initial efficacy study and the extended follow-up study. And they try to analyze the safety of the vaccine, efficacy, and the immunogenicity of the vaccine. They were followed up for the 55 months. Coming to the data collected, for immunogenicity analysis, they collected the IgG levels against HEV serially. And for efficacy analysis, they collected data regarding the adverse events. And efficacy analysis using the clinical cases of acute hepatitis detected, and safety analysis with the adverse events. Coming to immunogenicity analysis, they calculated this with the serum samples obtained at 0, 7, and at least one later time point for the IgG antibodies against HEV. But immunogenicity was assessed in only 10% of population in both groups. Coming to efficacy analysis, they did it in 3 different types. The main difference is in the duration of data collected and the number of doses of vaccine the patient received. That is per protocol analysis, intention to treat analysis, and the modified intention to treat analysis. Safety analysis was done from the data collected from hospital records and death records. Coming to the results, there were total 60 cases of hepatitis E, out of which 7 were in the vaccine group and 53 were in the control group. And out of the 7 hepatitis E cases in the vaccine group, 3 had received only 3 doses of vaccine, 1 received 2 doses, and 3 received only 1 dose of vaccine. Coming to the vaccine efficacy, as you can see here, in modified intention to treat analysis, the number of cases per 10,000 person years of exposure was 0.3 in the hepatitis E vaccine group, while in the control group it was 2.1. And after the analysis, the vaccine efficacy was calculated as 86.8 with a significant p-value. You can see the efficacies are almost 86.8, 85.1, and 93 in all 3 methods of analysis with a significant p-value. Now, coming to the characteristics of patients who were diagnosed with hepatitis E. They basically had 60 cases of hepatitis E. After genotype analysis, they could do the genotype analysis only in 29 patients, and out of this, and they found that HEV4, genotype 4 was the most common in the study group. And after analysis of IgG, they found that vaccine group had high avidity antibodies when compared to the control group, which was statistically significant. Now let's see the immunogenicity analysis. They have plotted the immunoglobulin G levels, which was collected from the population against the duration. As you can see here, this is a control group, and this is the patients who received, the yellow line shows patients who received 3 doses of vaccine. Almost everybody had seroconversion, and almost 87% of patients who received vaccine maintained their immunity levels at the 55 months at follow-up. And this is the participants who are seropositive at baseline. So in them, the control group had high IgG levels, and after even a single dose of vaccination, their IgG levels went up, and almost 100% of them maintained their immunoglobulin levels at 5 years. So 99% of them had seroconversion, and 87% of those who had 3 doses of vaccine maintained the antibodies at 55 months. And the seroconversion rate was almost similar in the patients who received 1, 2 or 3 doses of vaccine. Now coming to the results regarding safety, they found that after analysis, the adverse events were not related to the vaccine. Coming to discussion, so this hepatitis E vaccine which was tested provided sustained protection against hepatitis C for about 4.5 years, and immune response persisted in participants with and without pre-existing immunity to HIV. Vaccine efficacy did not appear to decrease over time, and no concerns about the safety of the vaccines were raised. Coming to the limitations, majority of the cases in this group were caused by HIV genotype 4, so you don't know the efficacy of this vaccine against other genotypes. But in vitro studies have shown that this vaccine was developed from genotype 1. So in vitro studies have shown that as all the genotypes belong to a single serotype, it can give protection against other strains also. Other limitations were efficacy is unclear in high rate of transmission, pregnancy, immunocompromised and chronic liver disease patients, and extremes of age, and high viral load and severe disease. So coming to the conclusion, antibodies against hepatitis E was induced by this vaccination, and protection against hepatitis E persisted for about 4.5 years after vaccination. So let's hope this vaccine makes hepatitis E a vaccine preventable disease. Thank you.